Hey guys, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Umineko When They Cry, episode 6. So last time we had a very nice puzzle with Erica and everyone else, right? And it was pretty cool. And we also had a scene with Angie there, a weird scene with her. And for some reason, Erica and the others, I guess, kind of heard it. So let's continue and let's see what happens in today's video.
僕もガタンって音を聞いたような。
風で窓でもガタついたんだろうぜ。何しろオンボロ屋敷だからな。
そういうのってなんだか不気味だよな。
It is creepy though.
本当に魔女が屋敷の中を歩き回ってるのかなって。6年前のガキの頃には随分怯えて夜を過ごしたもんさ。
いる。ベアトリーチェはいる。
この廊下の向こうには何があるんですか？
あちらには客室がございますが、今は使っておりません。
うん。ゲストハウスができたからね。それまでは客室に僕らは泊まってたんだよ。
ああ、俺も覚えてるぜ。今日のゲストハウスがあまりに綺麗なんで驚いちまった。
ま、新築だからな。私も自分の部屋をそっちに移したいもんだぜ。シャノン、エリカさんの部屋もゲストハウスでしょ？
I wish I could move my room or my own room over there. Shannon, Erica's son's room is in the guest house too, right?
はい。ゲストハウスにご用意させていただきました。
I mean, all of them, the cousins were sleeping in the guest house, right? All the time.
で、ゲストハウスは屋敷から離れていると。
I mean, yes, Jessica has her room. What I mean is, in this 2-day span, yeah, all of them were sleeping at the guest house.
どんな事件が起こっても互いには聞こえませんね。
やれやれ。まだ探偵モードなのかよ。明日の朝、全員で揃っておはようって言っただけでがっかりしちまいそうだぜ。
確かに。さすがに明日の朝には誰かが減ってないと困ります。ねえ。
Okay.
それではゲストハウスへご案内します。
They're pretty much saying that someone is gonna die by tomorrow. Implying it, I mean. The adults are apparently about to begin a conversation that they didn't want the kids to hear. Their real family conference was about to start. As the kids and Erica followed Shannon on their way to the guest house, they passed through the entrance hall.
外は今が一番の振りのようだね。
客までテレビでも見ながら、もう少し振りが弱くなるのを待ってもいいんじゃねえの？
ゲストハウスに戻りなさいってママに言われた。ゲストハウスじゃないと怒られる。おー。
ゲストハウスの方が落ち着けるぜ。不機嫌な親の声も面もごめん被るぜ。
ますますにお膳立てが整っているようで。
What do you mean everything is falling into place? Erica giggled, an openly indiscreet look on her face.
今、傘のご用意をいたします。少々お待ちください。
ちょっと。ずっと気になってました。あの肖像画のご婦人はどなたですか？まあ、ぶっちゃけ。ベアとの肖像画であることは知ってるわけですが、前回のゲームでは通り過ぎてしまっただけで面白くなかったので。
Erica whispered to herself, but of course, no one heard her.
こちらは親方様の恩人
ベアトリーチェ様でございます。
おじい様に莫大な黄金を授けてくれた後宮家復興の恩人だそうだよ。
ただのじい様の中の妄想の魔女だぜ。こいつの亡霊が夜な夜な屋敷の中を歩き回ってるって話らしいぜ。
よせよ。俺、小さい頃はその話めちゃくちゃ苦手で、この屋敷の夜は苦手だったんだ。
そんなこともあったね。6年経った今はどう？
すっかり忘れてたが、この肖像画をまじまじ見てるうちに、また怖い気持ちが蘇ってきちまったぜ。
Wait, what did Butler say? Okay. That Tsar was freaked me out. Okay. No, because this wasn't here, right? This, at least this epitaph wasn't here when Butler, it was 6 years ago, this still wasn't here.
ベアトリーチェは怖くないよ。
Like this one is, quite recent.
敬いを持っていればね。
They put it in 1984 if I'm correct.
持ってないと。ね、シャノン。
はい。
Honestly, it's been a while since we've seen Maria like this scary Maria.
使用人たちの間でもそう囁かれています。夜回りの使用人たちの間でも時折人影を見たとか黄金の蝶を見たとかいう噂が。
うわあ！去年だか一昨年だかに使用人の人が階段から転げ落ちて大怪我してやめたじゃん。あれ、ベアトリーチェの呪いだなんて囁かれてなかったっけ？イヒヒヒヒ。
Jessica told it like a ghost story, trying to scare Erica, but Erica just laughed disdainfully.
なんだよ、薄気味悪いな。ただの事故だろ？偶然だろ？
おじい様がここに肖像画を掲げてすぐのことだから、一昨年のことだと思うよ。確か、まさにここの大階段から落ちて怪我をしたんだよね。
そうそう。このバカでかい肖像画は何しろインパクトあったから。掲げられてすぐは屋敷中であれはなんだと話題になったもんだよ。それでその後すぐにここで事故があったもんだから、ベアトリーチェの呪いだってことになってさ。
ベアトリーチェの階段云々はこの肖像画の後から？いえ、その前からもベアトリーチェ様の霊が歩き回っているというお噂はありました。
Rumors about Beatrice-sama's ghost walking about were around even before Dad.
でもこの肖像画が掲げられてからはもっとそういう話が増えた気がします。
今までは魔女ベアトリーチェと聞いても具体的なイメージが湧かなかったからだろうね。この肖像画によって具体的になり、より一層以後の階段に厚みが出たんだと思うな。
そもそも魔女ベアトリーチェなんて誰が言い出したんです？
じいさまだぜ。我が最愛の魔女ベアトリーチェってよく取り乱して叫んでたから。
He'd always start freaking out and yelling, "My beloved witch, Beatrice."
この肖像画が出てくるまでは顔の想像もつかなかったけど。
こんな薄気味悪い肖像画がでーんと飾られたら、そりゃ階段の一つや二つできて当然だろうぜ。音楽室のベートーベンの肖像画も、学校創立者の銅像も、みんなちょうどいい階段の音章じゃねえか。
確かにこんなに古風な薄暗いお屋敷でずっとこんな風雨の音を聞いていたら、そういう階段の一つや二つ 生まれてもおかしくはなさそうです。まあ、所詮は怪談、妄想、おとぎ話。取るにも足らない、寝ぼけたうつけ者のざれ言以下ですが。
Erica looked up at the portrait and smiled at it hostilely. As though she felt that this smile was disrespectful to Beato, Maria's face soured.
おー、ベアトリーチェはいる。そんなこと言ってると、きっとエリカに魔女の呪いがあるよ。
おや、怖い怖い。魔女の呪い、大いに望むところですよ、ベアトリーチェ。
Look at Butler sweating though. He's sweating. He's laughing, but he's sweating.
これでエリカが明日の朝変死してたら魔女殺人事件の幕開けだな。
Well, that would be hilarious though. Imagine if Erica died the next morning. That would be funny.
おいおい、お前探偵なんだろ。探偵がいきなり殺されるなんて斬新すぎるぜ。
おや、それは困りますね。現場検証に差し支えます。なるほど、ロックスにも探偵を殺してはならないとは書いてありませんし。
The Nox rules don't prohibit the detective being killed. Okay.
マリア、いいもの持ってる。ベアトリーチェの呪いを防げるお守り。
She's gonna give her the scorpion charm.
お守り？そんなのあるのか。
After fishing around in her bag, Maria pulled out a string of beads, attached a medal that had a scorpion drawn on it. It looked like a cheap prize from an arcade or something.
何ですこれ。
魔除けのお守りなの。効果は弱いけれど、これをつけてれば今夜一晩はきっとベアトリーチェの呪いを避けられるよ。
他にもクモの巣が魔除けに効くとも聞きました。
ベアとはきっと蝶の化身だからクモも苦手なんだね。
あれ？
Wait, what? Beato is the incarnation of a butterfly.
それは悪食島の悪霊が苦手な方じゃなかったっけ？熊沢さんが詳しいよな、そういうの。
I mean, Kumasawa-san is the teacher.
魔女に悪霊少し興味を持ちました。よかったらゲストハウスでもう少し話を聞かせてもらえませんか？こちらが皆さんの傘です。お使いください。外はまだだいぶ雨が強いのでお気をつけください。
Shannon handed out the umbrellas she had brought. Everyone headed towards the exit. And then there were none left standing in front of the portrait. A gold butterfly appeared. It expanded out onto a golden splash, becoming a human form. In the hall, empty now that the children had left, Beato stood alone and silent, looking up at her own portrait. Without a doubt, the figure depicted there was like her as an image in a mirror. However, it felt as though its eyes and expression were just a little different from hers. From her perspective, while the person in the portrait was almost infinitely close to herself, it was just as surely a different person entirely.
あなたは誰なんでしょう？私にどうかあなたという人を教えてください。
Beato had already finished reading the fragments from Federine's library, which showed details of all the games so far. However, the witch called, Beatrice, who had been depicted in them, had been so vastly different from her. At the very end, it had looked as though the witch and butler had connected just a little bit as rivals. But for the most part, Beatrice had just bullied and bullied Butler in nearly all of the tales. So yeah, even though this was about her, she had no idea why Beatrice had tormented Butler so much when she supposedly been born for Butler's sake. All she had learned from Federine's library was that the former Beato was a completely different person who had defied understanding.
あなたに何があったのですか?
Honestly, this one, yes, as I was saying, this is very, very similar to the relationship, I guess. Let's say, Butler, this one, Butler and Chick Beato, and then Kinzo and Huadorian Beatrice, right? So basically, it's very similar because let's say it like this: Kinzo and Butler, right? They both lost their Beatrice, right? Kinzo, the original Beatrice, and then Butler, the Beatrice we've known from episode 1 to 5, right? And then both of them pretty much got a revived one, a resurrected one. Let's say we can say replacement, right? For Kinzo, it was the Kuwadoran Beatrice, and then for Butler, it's this one, the Chick Beatrice. So, like, it's very, very similar, right? And then both of them, we can say for Kinzo, he didn't want to acknowledge that this or his Kuwadoran Beatrice is his daughter, right? And then for Butler, he doesn't want to acknowledge this new Beatrice as the like, for example, she keeps calling Butler father, right? But for Butler, he's like, nah. It, like, for example, it can be, let's say, a much more how do I say this, family relationship, right? But instead of being that, like that, let's say at Kinzo, he wanted a romantic relationship with the Kuwadoran Beatrice because he still believed that it was his Beatrice. And then for Butler as well, you can say that, right? Pretty similar. But I think the difference that's gonna be in this one is, yes, we know what Kinzo did. He did bad stuff to the Kuwadoran Beatrice. And then for Butler, I mean, hopefully, let's just say hopefully. I think obviously he's not gonna be doing that, right? But it is very similar to them. It's pretty much a mirror, right, of Kinzo and Butler here and their Beatrices. So it is so interesting that they did it like this.
私はあなたの卵、そしてヒナ。あなたの翼はお父様のためにあったはず。
Your wings should have existed for father's sake. Yeah, her calling Butler father, Kuwadorian Beatrice, I remember her mentioning that Kinzo is like a best friend or a father to her. But yeah, for the both of them, they don't look at them, or they don't look at their Beatrices as their daughters. They look at them at, we can say, yeah, romantic. We can say romantic even for Butler. Let's say romantic partners rather than being their daughter.
それがいつ片翼をもがれ、あのように変わり果ててしまったのですか。
She had listened to the conversation Butler and the others had just been having. Beatrice can't handle scorpion charms. Beatrice can't deal with spiderwebs. She wouldn't have wanted to touch either of those by choice, but it wasn't as though anything terrible would happen if she did. But I think the difference between both of them is Kuwadorian Beatrice at the end of her life, right? She didn't want to become Beatrice anymore. She wanted to be a different one, a different person, a different life. That's why she left with Rosa. Well, for this one, Chick Beato is, I guess she wanted to be, or technically she wanted to become her past self, right? Yeah, I think that's a difference for both of them. The other one wanted to release Beatrice This one wants to go back and see how it was, or how the Beatrice was back then, and maybe she could be also like that to pretty much please Butler. Was being perfectly fine when around those, proof that she wasn't Beatrice. Even though this involved her own self, she didn't understand at all. So she quietly gazed into her own eyes on the portrait. It felt as though the truth hid behind those eyes. Beato slowly approached the portrait, and then she lightly touched it. When she did, it felt as though the portrait rippled slightly. Yes, this is a doorway. A doorway to the long path that will lead her to the Golden Witch, Beatrice. Beato felt a bit dizzy. She lost her balance, feeling as though the world was twisting around her. Then when she couldn't tell which way was up or down, she was swallowed downwards. Plunk! With a soft, watery sound, Beato was sucked into the portrait. The world inside the portrait was pitch black. However, there was nothing unsettling about it. It was a comfortable darkness, like when you put your head under the covers in bed at night. Beato realized that this was a world inside herself, so despite the darkness, she felt a warm embrace. As long as she asked for nothing, this world would ask nothing of her. But she couldn't remain like this. She didn't want to spend eternity inside the darkness of this world. Yes, I need to hatch out of my egg. This darkness is the shell surrounding the gold butterfly called Beatrice.
私は生まれます。お父様のために。バトラお父様のために生き、尽くすために生まれます。
I will be born for father's sake. I will be born to live for Butler Otosama's sake and to serve him. She took her goal, her reason for being born, and put it into words. As if in response to those words, the seal on the shell began to melt away. Cracks appeared in the darkness and a brilliant light enveloped the world. And so Beatrice was born. Oh, who's this? There I stood along with another me. For a second I thought the me in front of me was the real Beatrice, the one I wanted to be more like. However, she was looking back at me with the same bewildered eyes, so I realized that it wasn't quite it. So, what is this? Is this like a different, totally a different version of Beatrice, but it looks like this one is much more mature. Yeah, the one on the left, I mean. That's right. I wasn't the only one born from that egg. She was also born. Is she my twin? The twin Beatrice? No, it feels a bit different. How can I put it? Both of us are lacking something in immature. Okay, what is the music for this? The music's so nice. Apathy. Yes, both of us are chicks, but we're also fragments of the true Beatrice. It is as though we could become the real Beatrice together. Okay, I'm guessing this now. In the end of this episode, these two are probably gonna be one. No one explained this to us, however we naturally understood. I decided to talk to this other me. Unless I get to know her and become one with her, I won't be able to become the Beatrice father desires. In other words, the thing that father wants from me, and was so heartbroken to find missing, must be something that she has.
こんにちは。
The Beatrice with her hair down looked at me dubiously several times and then finally spoke.
どうしてわらわと同じ顔を？
The true Beatrice also spoke in that manner. Yeah, this one acts a little bit more like the OG or the Beatrice that we had, I mean. It looks like she really does have something that I lack.
さあ
This game, man, and the amount of Beatrices that we have. We have now 2 Beatrices. We have the older Beatrice, in episode 1 to 5, right? The one that's gone already. We got Kuadorian Beatrice. We got the OG Beatrice, the one that Kinzo loved. So many.
それは私にもわかりません。
So confusing.
わらわは黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェ。そなたは？私もベアトリーチェです。後ろ宮バトラに仕えるために生まれてきました。
Alright, what do we got? I heard something. This one. The Elder, Beatrice the Elder. Okay, this one, nothing. Okay. A mysterious witch who existed even before the rules. She has the same name as Beato, but she was not given the purpose of devoting herself to Butler. A mere shadow of a witch sealed away by Kinzo. She spends her days pulling small pranks and clearing away the anti-magic toxin for the sake of her resurrection. Has many things in common with the evil spirits of Akuji Kijima, such as a fear of spiderwebs. She was the one who gave Shannon the golden butterfly brooch.
わらわは黄金の魔女にして六軒島の夜の支配者。後宮バトラは知っているが、あのような小僧になぜに仕えねばならぬのか理解に苦しむ。
I realized that the thought I'd had a second ago must have been true. Together we really can become the true Beatrice. Though the person in front of me does have the part that makes her a witch I lack. She does not possess the mission to live for Oshirimiya Butler's sake. She has what I do not, and I'm sure I have something that she does not.
私たちはきっと二人で一人の存在なんです。双子みたいなものだと思います。いいや違う。そなたはわらわの妹だ。わらわはそなたが生まれるよりずっと前からここにいる。そうだったんですか。
I was born later. So does that mean that the mission to live for Oshirimiya Butler's sake was born later on? However, I don't think my whole existence is something quite as faint as or and intangible as a mission. I have enough personality to think and act as I am doing now. So to which Beato and I are separate people with both of us possessing something the other lacks. In that sense, maybe it's fitting for us to call ourselves sisters, as she say.
私はあなたのことが知りたいんです。わらわも知りたい。そなたもまたわらわであることは理解している。そしてなぜにそのような言葉遣いでありバトラに仕えねばならぬのか。そしてどうやらそれを理解せぬ限りわらわたちは互いに未熟らしい。私は完全なベアトリーチェになりたいんです。わらわはそなたが生まれるまでこれで完全な存在だった。しかしこうしてそなたが現れた今、そなたを受け入れるのがわらわの定めであるように思う。わらわもまたそなたのことを知りたい。
The witch Beato Stone was very slightly arrogant, which fitted herself, or yeah, her self-proclaimed status as the older sister. However, since we both realized that we were the same person, there was no need for her to be a bully. She probably realized that after meeting me, her current form was no longer her real self.
ここはどこですか？お屋敷のホール？あ、
Oh, it's gone. Yeah, the portrait is gone. Her portrait wasn't there. Did that mean that this was at least 2 years in the past?
そうとも。後ろ宮の屋敷のホールである。夜はわらわの時間。そして夜の屋敷はわらわのものだ。金蔵の間抜けは相変わらずわらわを蘇らせようだの捕らえようだのと躍起になっている。皮肉な話よ。そのわらわはこうして堂々と毎晩屋敷を支配しているというのに。あなたはここで何を？体を失い、あの肉々しい鎮守の社により魔力もない。しかしわずかずつに日々魔力はよみがえりつつあるのだ。最後には見事復活を遂げ、あの金蔵を嘲笑ってやりたいぞ。わらわは見事そなたの檻を抜け出したとな。その笑いだけを楽しみに夜な夜な徘徊して暇つぶしをしている亡霊といったところよ。ご一緒してもいいですか？無論。何しろそなたもまたわらわの一部。右腕の同行を断る左腕がどこにいる？断る道理もない。そなたを迎えようぞ。ありがとうございます。お姉様。
お姉様。
こそばゆい呼び方だ。だが悪くない。さあ、参ろうか。夜の屋敷を散歩しよう。わらわの退屈な日常を紹介しようぞ。
So now we have 2 Beatrices, 2 golden butterflies. The 2 Beatrices changed their forms into 2 gold butterflies, gliding silently into the depths of the shadowy mansion. Okay, so I guess this is the start of the journey for us to get the older Beatrice back. Our Beatrice back, I mean. This is the beginning. Little by little, we'll get her back.
私は今でもそうなんですが、よく物をどこに置いたか忘れたり、鍵をかけたつもりが忘れちゃったりとかして迷惑をかけてたんです。
昔はよく夏日おばさんに怒られてたね。
でもシャノンは途中から克服したんだぜ、その忘れっぽいの。
へえ、克服って？
大したことじゃないですけど、こまめにメモを残すようにしたんです。大切なものはどこに置いたのかちゃんとメモして、日々繰り返すことはメモにチェックリストを書いてちゃんと点検して。
それであなたはベアトリーチェを見たんですか？見てないんですか？
直接見たわけじゃないんですけど、やっぱりおかしいことがあって。
She was talking about a certain summer night. Shannon had been doing the nightly rounds. From her perspective, it was a ghost story. From the witch's perspective, it was just a story of a little summer's night prank. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, they're back.
我が妹よ。そなたは人間の持つ半魔法の毒を理解しておるか？
いいえ。何ですか、お姉様。
うん。魔女の時代はもはや遠い過去。万物を支配したとのたまう人間どもは、我らの存在を否定する強い毒を持つに至ったのだ。
その毒は私たちには有害なのですか？
極めて危険だ。浴びれば立ちどころに我らの姿を蒸発させてしまうだろう。しかし不幸中の幸いなことに、我らの存在は未だ極めて希薄だ。そのおかげで毒の影響も甚大ではない。せいぜい一時姿を霞にされてしまうくらいだ。
しかし好んで浴びたいものではないということですね。
その通り。さすがはわらわ。理解が早い。
The older sister appeared to be haughty at first, but perhaps because she was so happy to have met her double and little sister, she was more than willing to teach her anything she wanted to know. The first thing she thought was that they were witches, a different type of being than humans. Beato had taught her inability to use magic meant she wasn't a witch. But apparently she was still a witch nonetheless. And she learned that witches like her were bound by various limitations unlike humans. The greatest of those restrictions was the anti-magic toxin possessed by humans.
つまり簡単に言えば、人間の視界に入ってはならないということですね。
その通りだ。人間の目は毒を放つものと同じに考えよ。奴らに見られるということは身を焼かれるのと同じことだ。それには劣るが、聞かれること、気取られることすらも毒を含む。
私たちは人間に近づくだけでも大変なのですね。
Wasn't Father a human? Why am I not burnt by Father's toxin?
我らが魔力を蓄え、それを人間も認めたなら、その毒は限りなく軽減される。すなわち、我らの存在を認めさせることが、人間たちから毒を失わせ、再び彼らの前に降臨することもできるというわけだ。
なるほど。今の私たちは基本的に人間たちのいぬ間のみに存在できるわけですね。
魔力がまだまだ足りぬわらわたちは、人影に怯え、物陰にこそこそと隠れる野良猫にも劣る存在というわけよ。
The main goal of the older sister was to gain a large supply of magical power and be revived as a great witch, strong enough to have no fear of the anti-magic toxin. For that purpose, she had wandered around the mansion night after night, striving to regain her magical power and reduce the anti-magic power of the humans. The powerful previous Beatrice, whom she had read about in the Federine's library, had appeared openly in front of humans and had even toyed with them as well. According to her big sister, such a level of power was most impressive.
人前に堂々と姿を現し、魔法を自由自在とな。わらわとて想像もつかぬ大魔女の境地よ。それがわらわたちの未来の姿だというのか。
はい。お屋敷の人間たちの前に堂々と姿を現し、魔法や眷属を次々に召喚できる、まるで絵本の中の魔女のようですらありました。
夢のある話だ。それがわらわたちの未来ならば、努力に励む張り合いがあるというもの。
そうですね。それでお姉様、そのための努力と、こうして窓の鍵を開けて回ることに、どんな関係が？
It was the middle of the night. They were following behind servants who were checking the locks on the doors and windows and undoing those locks after the servants thought they had been set. It felt more like a child's prank than a work of a witch.
これこそが大魔女へ至る道なのだ。千里の道も一歩から。
So pretty much, yes, you're building a legend here. Like what they're doing, right? Like it's very simple undoing locks. And then people would think like, oh, what is happening here? Is there a ghost? And then yes, the legend of the Golden Witch, Beatrice, will be born in time. I think that's what they're doing here. Yeah, that's why they're doing this. Little by little, they're gonna gain magic power from that. From people believing that there is a witch that is playing tricks with them.
その一歩は、下せぬ者の目には、時にあまりにみすぼらしくも見えよう。
Yeah, first step may look quite foolish from time to time.
しかし、これは偉大なる一歩なのだ。
This is a first step, yes. With a pride as though making the first step for mankind at the surface of the moon, the older sister undid the lock on the window with a click.
わからぬか、我が妹よ。これしきのことが、なぜに偉大か。
いいえ、お姉様。よくわかりません。
The older sister closed her eyes lightly, smiled, and opened and unlocked the window a crack. Cool outside air flowed in, making the curtains
あえ
flutter.
て、人間の毒に満ちた言い方をしよう。本来、この島に我らはいない。さらに言おう。今、この廊下には誰もいないのだ。なのに、こうして鍵が開き、窓が開く。それがどれほどの奇跡であり、魔法であり、そして我らが存在する証であるか。わかるか？
A proof for our existence, that is.
そなたにも、この風の涼しさがわかるはず。
わかります。涼しいです。
風の涼しさ。そして、それになびくカーテンが髪をくすぐる感触。そのすべてが、我らが確かにここに存在することを教えてくれるのだ。
そして、私たちが確かに存在した証を、こうして鍵を開けることで、示して残せる。
だから、鍵をわらわは開けるのだ。
Of course, it wasn't just small pranks like opening a window. She could also smash windows and vases or leave behind strange fires and mysterious scribbles. In fact, one time, she actually did play a large-scale prank in the kitchen, piling up kitchenware in an eerie manner and leaving behind a bizarre scribble which scared the servants considerably. It was a complete success. She'd really managed to scare the servants and had succeeded in making them acknowledge the existence of magic, weakening the anti-magic toxin. However, she usually chose to make her presence known by unlocking windows. The act of unlocking symbolized her release from the limitations imposed by the human toxins.
いつかは、わらわは、わらわとそなたは一つの魔女となり、六軒島のすべてを支配するだろう。
Yeah, once it becomes much more bigger, they will become a single witch and they will rule all of Rokkenjima.
その時こそ、我らはすべての自由を得て、自在に羽を伸ばすことができるのだ。
We won't have to be afraid anymore of anyone's gaze. We'll be able to fly wherever we wish, disappear whenever we want, laugh however we like, prank however we like, talk with anyone we want to. Humans might ask things of us from time to time. They might fight with us, or play with us too. What a wonderful things for us frail creatures who cannot appear before anyone to look forward to.
今はいたずら程度に過ぎん。しかし、これの積み重ねによって、我らは存在する証を少しずつ得ていく。すでに使用人たちは、わらわの存在を夜の支配者、魔女ベアトリーチェと呼び、その存在をわずかずつだが、信じ始めている。
信じれば信じるほど、その人間の半魔法の毒は失われていく。
I see. So this means that Father has no anti-magic toxin. And that's because it really believes in the existence of the witch I am. Without any doubts. I finally realized that though I thought him to be a cold father, he does possess a kindness that can be seen.
早く大魔女になって、みんなの前に現れたいですね。
うん。やがては、誰の前にも堂々と姿を現すことができるだろう。それを重ね、さらに存在を信じさせ、やがては魔法さえ披露し、我らはそなたが話してくれた大魔女として六軒島に君臨するのだ。
魔女側の理屈はなかなかに面白い。
Okay, so let us take a little break here, and that was nice though, right? Both Beatrices that we have here now. It's nice that they're showing us that yes, they're starting the first step, the proof that witches do exist in Rokkenjima. And slowly, I guess, as the story of this episode goes, I think by the end, probably, yeah, they're gonna become a one. I mean, both of them here are gonna become one, and then they're gonna be the Beatrice that we knew, right? I mean, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty much like what do you call this? Beatrice's journey now. This episode is gonna be like that. Beatrice's journey to becoming her former self. Let's say that, right? In episode 5, it was mostly Natsuhi and Erika, and then I guess for this one, it's gonna be, yeah, a lot of scenes for sure for Beatrice. And maybe we can say some scenes with feelings as well, because they've been showing us Canon and Shannon earlier, so that's gonna come into play as well. We're gonna find out how though, right? So yes, we are gonna continue this and do more of Umineko When They Cry episode 6 in the next one. So I'll just see you then guys, bye bye.